Hi, this is Misty with Exposing Success, and this is my podcast. Today, we're going to talk about living life to the fullest, maxing out, living out your full potential. But first, I have a story for you. This story has nothing to do with that. Other than that, we were out on a family walk this past weekend, and my son wanted to bring his scooter, and it's an electric scooter, so it's not really exercising, but at least he was out and he was getting some sun and he was hanging out with us, so we were there for it. That's fine. um so we all went down this long trail. It's about 4 miles, and we walk and try to keep a fast pace, but we cannot keep up with an electric scooter. There'd be absolutely no way. Even if you're running full sprinting, you couldn't, because this thing I think goes 20 miles an hour, I believe. And so he would go a little bit ahead of us, and then he would turn around and come towards us, and then just keep going back and forth. And so we every so often we go, "Oh, have you seen him?" And looking for our kiddo. And and he came back, within a few minutes. And there's tons of families on the trail, so it's super safe. Plus he's 12. So he's not a little guy, but anyway. And then we get to the end of the trail, and there's a marketplace over there. And sometimes we go and use the restroom. There's a smoothie bar in there, so sometimes I go get a smoothie. There's an empanada place that my son likes, so we might stop in there for that. So we get to the end and we don't see him for a while, and I think, okay, he probably went into the marketplace. I'm not going to panic because I'm a little bit of a worrier. I'm just going to keep it cool. And we don't see him, and we don't see him, and I keep kind of trying to look for him, and I can't see him. And we're almost to the end of the trail, and then we finally see him, and he's surrounded by people. And so I pick up my pace, to almost a run, and to get over to see what on earth, why is my son surrounded by, 6 adults? And I'm like, man, is this like, some cult they're trying to convert him to, or, what on earth is going on? It's all kind of going through my head. And so anyway, I get up there, and one lady pulls off from the crowd, and she comes over to me, and her first comment out of her mouth is, "Your son hit a car." And I'm like, oh man. But of course, I mean, my main concern is, is he okay? But I can physically see with my eyes he's fine. So I wasn't too worried about that. But I did want to confirm, he wasn't just saving face in front of all these people standing around him. So I said, "Are you okay?" And he said yes. And I'm like, "Did you hurt anything?" And he said no. And so then they finish the story. They say, this lady over here, and it was a girl in probably her mid-20s, maybe. I'm terrible at guessing ages, but anyway, and if she was older, then kudos to her because she looked amazing. But anyway, so I see her, and they tell me the story that they all stopped at the sign, and he was being responsible, and he waited, and he decided to go after waiting, and this girl also went. And so really it was her fault. She should have waited in the crosswalk or waited for the people in the crosswalk to cross, because they have the right of way, but she didn't. She continued to go. So he would have been run over by her, but he quickly corrected, and luckily he's pretty good on that scooter, and he turned real tight to the left, and he dented her car. And so she came over, and she looked like she had seen a ghost. I mean, she was terrified. And my heart just really went out to her, because I thought, what if that was one of my boys? My oldest son is in his, he's pretty much considered mid-20s. He's 23. And my other son's 19. And, we all do stupid things, and we all make mistakes. And, and she was working. She's an Uber driver, or a DoorDash or whatever. And, so she probably had her mind going 1,000 different places. So I went over to her after I confirmed my son was fine. He didn't even fall off of it. He didn't hit it. Even his scooter was fine. There was not even a scratch on him. I mean, by God's grace, the timing was beautiful. But other than her car was dented, that was very unfortunate, and it's heartbreaking. But I mean, she had some other dents to match, so at least it wasn't a brand new, undented car. But it's still upsetting when stuff like that happens. But so I made sure I went over to her, and I touched her back, and I said, "Are you okay?" Because she just looked so scared and just terrified that we were gonna, call 911 and sue her and, do all the things. But and she said, "Yeah, I'm fine." I was worried about your son, and I'm like, "Well, I'm also worried about you. You were involved in this as well." And you could kind of see the weight lift off of her shoulders as, she saw the way that I approached her. But anyway, so after we asked her several times if she was okay, and we confirmed that everybody was okay, we all just went about our day. And again, it's unfortunate she has a dent in her car, but maybe it'll keep her a little bit safer at those crosswalks, and because it could have ended much worse. I mean, I don't think I would have been as friendly if my kid got ran over by a car, but but I truly was concerned about her, because in situations like that, I try to think of, like for instance, my little aunt that has dementia. She used to be a door greeter at Publix, or I'm sorry, Walmart. And I used to get annoyed by the door greeters at Walmart because they'd want to look at my receipt, and I'm like, how dare them? I don't steal, and it was kind of offensive to me. And then I was like, you know what? That's somebody's aunt. That's somebody's mom. That's somebody's grandma. So sometimes I think we got to take ourselves out of the situation and think about the other person, and I'm not saying I'm wonderful for doing that, but but I did think about her very quickly. After I saw my son was okay, I looked at her, and she was terrified. And just, I'm sure all the things running while she's waiting for me to walk up there, she's probably like, oh no, what is the situation gonna look like for me? And so I think we all left that situation grateful that it could have been a lot worse. So anyway, to get to the story, or to get back to the subject of this podcast. So I constantly have that going through my head, that I don't want to live an average life. You get one chance at this life. At this life here on earth, we get one chance at it. And I don't want to live an average life. I want to have all of the things my heart desires. And I'm not just talking about physical things. I mean, yes, I have a beautiful, dreamy house. I sometimes have to pinch myself because it's so pretty. And I do fun things to it all the time, like get chandeliers and new fans and paint, and so that's always really exciting. And I have a wonderful husband. I should have listed him first. He goes before the house. I have a wonderful husband. He's my best friend, and I seriously lucked out. Had no idea what we were doing getting married as young as we got married, but I lucked out on that deal, and really, God had his hand on that, because you just don't know when you get married that young and we've both grown together as human beings. And I think being married to somebody else, I wouldn't be the person I am today. So I owe so much of that to him. But living life to your fullest, having the spouse that your heart desires, if you're not married yet, and I'm not suggesting divorce, but if you are not married yet, don't settle. Marry the person that you can't wait to see at night, that brings out the best in you, that makes you laugh, that sees you and listens to you, and helps you grow as a person, and supports every crazy decision that you have, and idea that you have. And don't settle on that. It's such a big decision. And if you are married and you feel like that's another podcast. I need to do that too, but I need to try to see if my husband will do a marriage podcast with me. But if you are married and you feel like your marriage is bleh, and you kind of going through a rough patch where you're just like, passing through the hallway at each other and there's no sparks there, you can work on that too. You can work on that. I truly believe that marriages can be restored. So I'm not saying that, but if you haven't married yet, just don't settle. Don't settle. And if you have a job that you hate and you go to every single day and you hate it and you just dread it, and Sunday afternoon comes along and you're like, oh, because I've been there. I've been there. And your Sunday afternoon and you're like, you get the Sunday afternoon blues because Monday's coming, and then you just go through the motions all week just to look forward to getting to Friday night, and then really you only have 2 good days because you got Friday night to Sunday night, or Friday afternoon to Sunday afternoon, or whatever. And it's like, man, that sucks. You get one chance at this life. Do what makes you happy. I mean, yeah, you do need to make money. You can't do something, you can't do volunteer work if that makes you happy, but you can do that in addition to your work. But I'm sorry, I get so I veer off subject all the time. Oh, I'm so bad on staying on topic is really tough for me. But you get what I'm saying. You absolutely volunteer if it makes you happy, but you also need to make money. And so, do what makes you happy, and buy that outfit that makes you happy, and go on that vacation, because you'll be able to make more money, but you won't have that time back. Live life to its fullest. And back to that, living life to its fullest is the gateway to that is health and nutrition. You're going to hear me talk about that a lot because I believe in that. It has changed my life. As soon as I got myself healthy and, started eating right, eating clean, and taking care of my body, this body, whether you're a Christian or not, this body is your temple. This body was on loan. We were loaned this to live in. And so we should do honor to it and take care of it. And I truly believe that. I believe that it goes hand in hand with Christianity. You should take care of your body. And, I understand not everybody has, the means to buy organic or anything like that, but you can still eat chicken. You can eat chicken and you can eat veggies, and you can make sure you're getting enough protein for your body. You can make sure you're getting enough water. I mean, water is so huge, so important to your health. I mean, it's good for everything. And, and eat your fruits and veggies and go on a walk. And you don't even have to have, if you just go to TJ Maxx. Have you heard of TJ Maxx? Go to TJ Maxx. Get yourself some resistance bands. Get yourself some dumbbells. Get yourself a kettlebell. You can literally go to TJ Maxx. I know it's hit or miss, but they have a little workout section, and you can probably get all three of those things today for like $40. And you got yourself a little workout area. Get yourself a mat for the floor if you want, and and go on TikTok and look up videos. If you just don't know, if you have no idea what to do, and start being active, and walk and walk and walk and walk some more. Walking is wonderful for you. Go out first thing in the morning, get some sun on your skin, and so anyway, I think I'm done with my rant for today. But yeah, it is, health and nutrition is that gateway to living your best life. So get rid of the vices, whatever vice you have, excessively drinking coffee, energy drinks, if it's something worse, something that's illegal, or even something that's legal. I mean, if you have a vice that you have to depend on to be happy, like drinking alcohol every night, then, maybe search and see why it is that you have to feel like you have to do that. And, maybe there's a different core issue that, that's underlying, that thing that you feel like you have to do to be happy. Because there is another option. You don't have to have the vices to be happy, and you don't have to always lean towards the easy way. And I think our bodies crave a little bit of difficulty and a little bit of taking the path that is with more resistance. And I think that's important to success, and just being happy. So anyway, so hopefully this was helpful to you. And if you could like and share and comment and follow and all the things, if you could do all the things for me, I'd appreciate that. I've been doing these now for a couple months, and I think I have like, I don't know, last time I checked, I think I had like 11 followers. So it's pretty pathetic. But if you could help me grow this, I can maybe get some guests on here and, do some other fun things with this podcast. But I'm just doing it because I want people to live their best life. And I just feel so passionate about it. So hopefully that comes across to you and make today great and be blessed.